Bucko.
Webb and them said chicken when I was young. I was about fucking 13 years old.
They was talking about.
Yeah, but that's them. You Haitian. That was like chickens were really money.
That was currency.
Yo, they playing with you, son.
Yo, the difference.
Nah.
I got him. I got him.
Nah, I ain't gonna hold you.
I got him. I think that was disgusting. Not only that, no. I lived in a house. You think that's wise? Laughing?
Leave me alone.
You think that's wise? Oh, you want me to leave you alone?
You think?
Please, I'm sorry. Go after the entire room.
System, man.
What's good, elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Always pay attention to who laughs the loudest. Always pay attention to what's going on in the background. And it makes it even better because this is happening in front of all these cameras. In 8K, Joe got the good cameras. So best believe I would run it back, pay attention to everyone's movements after Mark made this joke, and after everyone saw I was offended by said joke. It's clear as day. I keep saying it. Mark is not changing his ways. He's going to shoot below the belt. He's going to hit you where it hurts. I myself didn't think this joke was that serious, but Flip did. Melyssa laughed extremely loud. And the one name that I keep bringing up that we have to pay attention to determine the mood in the room is Ice. Ice didn't get up, walk around the room laughing like everyone else. Ice didn't even really laugh at the joke. First thing he said, Flip, that's fucked up. They playing with you. They playing with you. He may have said it in a joking tone, but he meant what he said. Flip, he called out Mel immediately. First thing she said, make sure you're addressing the whole room. And she's right. She's correct. But she's incorrect for laughing as loud as she did, considering the last time Mark fired off in her direction, she wanted to call a meeting. They spoke to Mark after this, after they made that statement, because it wasn't even a joke. But after he made his statement pertaining to her sexual proclivities and how it could be seen and how it could be taken, they had a talk with Mark. So you got to be mindful of that, Mel, going forward. You have to be mindful because now Mark's going to look at how hard you laughed as well at his joke, and then he's gonna use this against you if he shoots in your direction and you play victim again. He's gonna use you laughing against you. But Flip, they keep playing with your top, they keep playing with your status, and it does seem like you're in panic mode. Shout out to the stop. He called attention to your numbers. I hadn't been paying attention to the numbers. I was just paying attention to the variety of content that you made because I was calling you out on nobody paying attention to what you say. They pay attention to what you do. But now that the numbers are being called into question and it seems like you're on rocky status at the JVP, I am questioning and wondering what it is that your future plans are. Because you know you're going to have to constantly make content with other people in order to sustain, and that's not something that you want to do long term. I guarantee it. All the other models that you tried seemingly failed because you didn't want to play your cards right, or you wanted the immediate satisfaction and gratification. Hopefully none of this backfires in your long-term plans. Hopefully this is just a drought. I understand. I went through a drought earlier this week. I'm like, damn, I'm doing great in the views. And then they just cratered, I should say. 3,000 views per video. But you got to keep pushing. You got to keep, if you know the algorithm fluctuates, but you know your content is good, you got to keep putting it out anyway. And now I have to monitor your movements on your own page. Now I have to monitor to see what it is, what direction you're trying to go on your page, to see what direction you're trying to go on the JBP. It's unfortunate that Ish laughed at you, Imani laughed at you, But pay attention to the people who didn't. Ice and Joe. They didn't laugh, Flip. Joe isn't laughing because he understands the dynamic that Mark brings, but he's afraid that it's going to cause a fissure between his co-hosts. And the golden goose doesn't get to lay rotten eggs. Meaning, just because your value supersedes the value of everyone else doesn't mean you get to take everyone else's value down because of the morale. Because they can't stand you. It doesn't mean a damn thing if you're scoring all the buckets but you can't pass the ball, or every time you pass the ball, no one's catching your assist. What's the point of having all this stock? So Joe's going to find himself in a kerfuffle in a month or two if he doesn't nip whatever this beef is amongst Flip and Mark in the butt. Because Flip is going to wear his heart on his sleeve, and it's going to affect his performance even more than it already has. Because people are calling for Flip's top. You got your own co-host calling for Flip's top. Because, let's be clear, guys, Joe is pissed that Zaire said what he said about Flip openly. It's already a running secret amongst the cast, but Joe is pissed that he's letting it out the bag now. That's my man saying that. And I had him on my network doing his podcast, which I'm hoping comes back. I had him on my show doing guest appearances. And then he's the main one that is drawing attention to Flip being off of the pod. It's already bad enough that my audience is calling for Flip to not be a part of the Patreon or the episodes that guests are there. But for people that work with Flip to be saying the same thing, that's a big deal. And Joe is managing as best as he possibly can. I'm not going to call this big ass nigga out. He even said it when Flip said or called him out on it. He said he was wrong for this. He shouldn't have said that. But I'm not going to play an intermediary. I'm not going to play the mediator. I'm not going to play the middleman, because I kind of feel the same way. And if Flip doesn't find his footing, and I keep saying this a lot, Flip's footing is the energy. It's to be rambunctious. It's to do all the stupid things that he's done. But he doesn't want to sustain that energy because it's a negative. It's like a repellent. It's helpful and it's hurtful at the same time. So he's trying to find a voice and he cannot find it. Because it takes him too long to get to his statements. It takes him too long to get to his thoughts. Instead of just being on point with it like he seemingly shows on his content. And I'm not saying Flip is dumb. I'm just saying he's not witty to the point where he could just bounce back from these type of jokes or from these type of statements or from these type of interactions. So, like I said, pay attention to Mel. Pay attention to her laughing extremely loud, because Mark is absolutely going to use this against her. You think Flip's going to use this against her? Yes, of course. Flip has this in the front of his mind. I can't believe she was laughing this loud. He called her out immediately. But Mark is going to be the one that uses this against her the most. It's going to be her own doing. And then once she looks dumb in the face, she's going to call for them to cut this whole part out, or she's going to call for Mark to never fire at her again. And it's going to happen solely because of how loud she laughed and how long she laughed at this joke. And guys, I'm just going to be honest. I saw something in the Patreon that absolutely pissed me off. So I'm absolutely doing a visceral response to it. Y'all have to subscribe to the Patreon for that. Shout out to everybody that's been on the Patreon. Y'all holding your boy down. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we rocking over here. You already know what it is. We gonna keep this thing rolling, man. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all later today. Peace.